fairly wealthy province with a whole bunch of oil. I'm going to take these headphones off because it's very disconcerting.
Well, we'll have to try a different time with Kevin then. We'll have to set up some... have to try something different on a different night, I think. I'm just going to give Kevin a little note here, tell him that I am sorry, apologize for the bad connection there. Hey, trying it on the fly there, so you never know if it's going to work out. Oh, well, that's the way it goes sometimes. Hey, it can't quite get... doesn't always work out. I'm going to close down my Skype here. Yep, he was listening to the program. That was the problem. He was tuning in. He was tuning into the program. He was tuning into the program, and that was causing the feedback. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry for everyone who's tuning in here, and we're having trouble here. Sometimes it's just the way it goes. It's just the way my weekend has gone. I'm trying to be upbeat here. Really trying to be upbeat here. It's not Kevin's fault. We were trying to do it just real quick here in the last minute, last couple of seconds here, and trying to get things going. Now, Kevin, he says he would like to try again. So we're going to try again. Here we go. Dialing up again.
Hi, Mike. Let's try this again.
I think we're connected, yes. And did you turn off the program?
Yeah, that would have been the problem.
Okay, I thought maybe that could have been the problem. So that's good. Well, it's hard to carry on a conversation. I understand when there's feedback. So I'm just going to ask you here now, is it coming in through a little bit better? Are we doing a little bit better here?
Yeah, there's the occasional dropout, but I'll let you know if I need you to repeat anything.
Oh, yeah, that would be more of the internet connection speeds that sometimes we might get a little bit of a dropout. If I need to repeat, I will repeat. So who is spreading that rumor that you used to own a car dealership? I thought I had heard that. Someone said you had owned, but it's a motorcycle and snowmobile shop. Is that the case?
Yeah, definitely. We're back in about the early 60s, our family business started up, and it's called Riverside Honda and Skidoo Sales. And we went through a number of iterations, but suffice to say we have just been named the largest Honda motorcycle dealership in Canada at this point. And we're based here in Edmonton and doing quite well. But it's something that has taken a bit of a backseat to my obvious other interests. So, but it's definitely a motorcycle, snowmobile shop, and Sea-Doos and all sorts of.
Sea-Doos, yeah. In the Great White North, right? Snowmobiles. Hey, there's still good business in snowmobiles. But at what point did you get interested then in longevity and the Methuselah Foundation, Immortality Institute? The whole scene?
Well, like many people, when I was a little kid and I realized that everybody falls apart, and I really didn't like that, I started reading an awful lot about science fiction. I loved science fiction, and I thought, automatically that science would just take care of this little problem that we had about death and dying of old age by the time I needed it. Unfortunately, things haven't moved along nearly as quickly as I'd hoped. But when I was about 37 and I was working quite hard at the company, I managed to get a small cancer, which I realized at that point that my body was no longer on autopilot, and it was a little bit of a wake-up call, an existential risk kind of thing that came to me, and I thought, this is not good. So at that point, I decided to start investigating what types of cancer therapies are out there. And of course, cancer is just yet another age-related disease. So after I basically beat the cancer, I saw clearly the trajectory that things were heading in, and I thought, this is not not going to be good. And I'm a self-taught kind of an individual, and when I see a problem, I like to know as much about it as possible. So I began looking around, and I noticed that Aubrey had and Dave Goebel had started up the Methuselah Foundation, and I also came across Imminst at the time, and Bruce Klein had just taken it from its previous, basically it was a chat group more than it was a website, I think, at the time on the IRC. And he just begun the website as we sort of see it now today. And I came across it, and there were some incredible thinkers, and it was almost like coming out of the desert, coming from the company that I'm in. I mean, it's a blue-collar type of company, and people are not extremely, interested in philosophy or life extension or science or really anything. They want motorcycles. They want to have fun. So this was the kind of environment I was coming from. And coming across Imminst, I really, really found a group of people who harmonized with the way that I was thinking and the way I had really ultimately I'd always thought. And it was amazing to become connected with people who, at least on the surface, thought an awful lot like I did. So investigating led one thing to the other, and I started becoming involved with the Methuselah Foundation, and the realization that the writing was on the wall that we are no longer in Kansas anymore when it comes to the ability of therapies or the potential development of therapies to fight age-related diseases. It just came to me that there really was not anything else worth doing if we were all destined to die. So my priorities kind of shifted, and I thought, there's this little aging problem. I'm 45 now. I mean, I was about 37 when I got my cancer. So I'm working at it, and this is just the biggest adventure in the world.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing that I have also came about, meeting people through the Immortality Institute and finding a whole new world of life extension and big thinkers. So hey, let's get to the meat of right now. How are things going with the MPrize lately? Is there anyone that's getting close to, say, winning the some of the reversal prize money or the longevity money? I have to honestly say I haven't checked lately to see what kind of winnings have been doled out or how close people are getting. Could you give us a little scoop on that?
Okay, I can try. I got about 30% of what you actually said because of this wonderful internet connection.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just a little bit on what's going down with the MPrize lately. Are there any mice that are getting close to winning the reversal prize, or perhaps a new longevity winner? Any researchers pushing the limits?
Okay, yeah, I did get that. Okay, so the Methuselah Mouse Prize started out, as a as a rather informal group. It is more a public relations than an actual. We think that we're going to create mice that are actually going to live 5 years, although ultimately that would be the end result. At this point, the bar is set really quite high with the caloric restriction of the rejuvenation prize set by Steven Spindler. I think it was 1 week less than 5 years, or no, 20% life extension from him in a cohort of 60. And then the longevity prize with Bart Key is 1 week less than 5 years. So that's pretty substantial, and it's going to be very difficult for any researcher at the moment to beat those records. So we're looking at restructuring the prize somewhat, and so that we can actually provide updates and press releases and newsworthy types of announcements where the function of the prize, which is to get the message out there that there is this competition going on and that credible researchers think that aging is an approachable challenge, so that message continues to get out there. And we really do need winners, or at least announcements, in